Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette, and this is Serendipity. And we are working on the Thicker Than Water Black Sheep uh, chapter of the game right now. Yeah, I know this is the first time most of the people are hearing the actual name of what we're doing.
Okay.
But this is going to be our Hecata mini chronicle that we're playing that is tied in with the actual story that we've been running for as long as we have.
Yeah.
And this is actually a golden opportunity for us because Serendipity has no idea what she wants to play.
Pretty much.
And I think that's actually helpful because I talk to a lot of people who talk about how they want to get involved in game.
It can be really hard to come up with a character concept sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when you've recently made a character concept. So, having to do another one.
I know. Well, I think this is a good exercise.
Well, that was my choice, though. I decided that I was not carrying Dawn forward, so
yeah,
Elle had to come in.
Which people were sad, but I think a lot of people really like Elle too.
Well, Dawn might still be somewhere.
Well, Dawn's not gone. So.
Yeah. I didn't get her killed yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. So I don't really know what I want to do with this character, except that I'm interested in them owning an occult shop.
Okay.
That is the extent of my character information.
The reason I think that's really neat is because when people think Hecata, they think Giovanni most of the time, unless you got those old school players who like Cappadocians. But most people go to Giovanni, and when I think Giovanni, the farthest thing from my mind is a cult shop. So,
although they do deal with ghosts. So.
They do, but it's more of a, this is our internal business practices.
Right, it's not an outward facing.
Yeah, and I think that's actually going to be very interesting to separate you from the standard face of the family. Because with the way that the Hecata are now in 5th edition, the Giovanni are just that. They're the face of the family.
Yes.
And they have lost almost all power within the family.
So perhaps that is not the clan I should play then.
Probably not that part of the family,
yes, no. Probably not that part of the family.
But there are some really good avenues that you could possibly go down. So why don't we just build you as a character first, and then find out who would take you after.
Right.
Does that sound good?
That should be interesting.
Cool.
So, see who will put up with me.
As we're building your character, we're going to be using this. Whoa! Look at that. We're gonna shrink us down so we're not as shiny,
weird, and glittery.
Yeah.
Because I'm.
You're a mystical person.
Yeah.
That actually isn't that bad when we're small though.
Yeah.
But what we're using here is character sheets by Mr. Gone.
Okay.
I've been using him since 2003 to make character sheets, and the fact that he's updated his site to 5th edition is just awesome.
That is awesome. That's exciting.
But we're going to go ahead and go through this step by step, just like usual. Do you know what you want your character's name to be?
Not at all. I don't know what gender I want them to be either. So
okay.
This is a fun, entertaining kind of thing.
Cool.
Pretty sure that they are not a cisgendered woman person.
Okay.
So that is as much as I have felt out in terms of them.
Okay.
They own an occult shop, and they're not a girl. There we go. That's what we got here.
Okay. Well, do you have an idea on your ambition? Or not your ambition, but your concept? Who you would like the character itself? Just the human.
Right. I mean, this is a human who owns an occult shop, so there's a couple different directions that could go. Yeah. This could be a human that owns an occult shop because they want to put the knowledge out there in the world. This could be a human who owns the occult shop because they want to be able to collect everything for themselves, and having a shop is a way to do that because it's a central point where people will bring things to them. Perhaps. True. Which is really where I'm feeling more than... I don't see them... I see them kind of introverted and not really interested in other people. Okay. But yet they own a shop. Okay. So they're kind of that crotchety shop owner who is like, go away, you're bothering me.
3 different concepts came to mind.
Okay.
As you're talking. First off, before you said crotchety keeps to themselves person, the first thing that popped into my mind was mentor.
Okay.
Like the mentor. But if you're trying to be to yourself, capitalist came to mind. Also.
That implies that I want to make money.
That's true.
And I don't have a shop because I want to make money.
Powermonger?
That might be closer to... Because I see... Yeah, I mean, I think there was another way I think that instantly, like, the idea of store owner comes in. Also, if you were trying to, like, build community or a social structure, you might own a shop or something. Again, not
social vampire.
Not this
draining
person.
Everybody else's
Not this
stuff.
person. I really think that they just want really neat things.
Okay. Collector?
Yes.
Collector?
Yes, more of a collector.
All right. If you want to change this, let me know. So, then your ambition for collecting these items. Is it supreme power?
The very best. Like no one ever was.
Don't get us in trouble.
Sorry.
Okay, so your ultimate ambition for your character is to be like an authority on the occult, on...
Sure. Can I just collect ghosts?
Okay. That's actually
collect the souls.
That's actually very Giovanni.
Yeah, I know.
Right
that's the problem.
Not necessarily. You can have your own personal desires.
Be fun, just put the souls on the shelf. This is my this is my that. No, I don't know. But I'm kind of serious.
Okay. You want to become like the keeper of the dead?
That sounds like a cool title. Does sound like a cool title.
Okay. So, Necromancer Supreme?
See, now
that sounds like a Taco Bell item.
Well,
that has ghost peppers in it.
That sounds too close to L.
Okay.
That's too close to L.
Okay.
Because L has a sort of driving force around...
To become Legion of herself.
Something. Yeah, yeah. So, and I don't know how much of that has been shared with people, so we won't go too deep into that, because the other players watch these things. But, so I don't know, I think really they collect for themselves.
Okay.
Maybe, like, they want to control things.
Okay.
They probably have control issues. Let's go with that. So the collection becomes a way to keep tabs on things.
That sounds more like your desire.
Okay.
More than anything. Like, that's just your driving point.
Okay.
Like, your minor ambition. So just be in control would be your desire?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead and put that. So your ambition would be like your ultimate goal on why you want to be in control.
To be the very best.
Do you want to come back? We can come back to ambition later.
Yeah, maybe. Because that's... Yeah. I told you, I don't really have much in the way of who this Hecata and, like, necromancers in general isn't... like something I've really spent much time exploring from a personal desire place.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to it and I'm interested in it, but I just haven't spent a lot
really thought about it much.
Yeah.
Okay.
And player brain has not had time or interest or anything in fantasizing about other characters.
Yeah.
So, because that's...
Yeah, I did kind of spring this on you.
Well, and that's not generally... Like, I'm not one of those players that dreams about the other characters I'm going to play.
Mm.
Like, some people do that, and that's really cool, and they generate a lot of characters, just kind of day to day. I don't do that.
Yeah, you like to focus on your one.
Yeah.
See, I do both.
Mm-hmm.
I like to focus on my individual characters, but, like, I like to create characters, which is why I became storyteller.
Yeah.
All right. Predator type.
Oh,
how do you
question.
think you want to feed?
How would this human feed? I don't know, because I don't know this human yet. So we're probably going to have to come back to that, unless you want to give me ideas here.
Well, I mean, we can go over the predator types if you want to, what kind of, like, individual you would be. There's the alley cat, who's the assault feeder.
I can rule some things out. I'm not going to alley cat. I'm not going to bag her. I would blood leech, but Dawn was kind of doing that. And this character being related to a cult, I'm trying to stay away from Dawn-ish.
Understood.
Like anything that's too Dawn-ish. I don't see Cleaver. I definitely don't see Consensualist or Farmer. I've done Sandman, so that's kind of ruled out. I'm actually, I immediately kind of thought of maybe Scene Queen.
Okay.
Because this person... But... No, I don't think that fits with this one.
There are 2 more
that
are not listed on
okay.
here that are inspired by the Hecata themselves.
Okay.
There's Grave Robber, which is an individual who feeds off fresh corpses and is also known to feed off the mourners in cemeteries, which I'm not really seeing.
I'm trying to feel if that fits.
Yeah. The other one is an Extortionist.
Now that
where they
feels like it probably
they basically
fits.
go, oh, you want something from me? Well, you're going to give something to me, and they do that kind of thing.
That seems more fitting.
Okay.
Because I have to keep getting out of, because this character is not, like I said, the only thing I feel passionately about is that they own an occult shop and they do not identify as woman, female, whatever. Okay. So they're non-binary spectrum, I believe, because I don't think that they're quote-unquote male.
Okay.
Which is... Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know my mentality when it comes to vampires is
that all vampires
their sex is vampire. Their gender is vampire.
Yes. But that we're not talking vampire yet. We're talking human.
That's very true.
So I'm trying to get into the brain of my human which that changes, and that's why I said no scene queen, because that's not, while I could totally play like scene queen from a non-binary perspective, I think I would fall too much into the quote-unquote feminine, and that's not what I want to do with this character. Okay. So, I like the Extortionist angle.
Okay. Well, let's go over the details on the Extortionist. The Extortionist likes to force their victims to bleed for them. Yes. Ostentatiously. Yes. The Extortionist acquires blood by exchange of services such as security or surveillance, but as many times as they need to, the protection is real, it is just as often a fiction engineered to make them feel more acceptable. So, in other words, that's the kind of situation where you walk into a store and you go, it'd be really bad if something were to happen here. Yeah. Yeah. There's that. Okay. If you take Extortionist, you get to add a specialty to either intimidation under coercion or larceny under security. You also gain a dot in either dominate or potence.
This sounds interesting.
And you get to
out of my normal
range. It is out of your normal range. And you've been wanting to play a more physical character.
Yeah, that's why Elle went a route, but this is an opportunity to go a different route.
Yeah, so Elle ended up becoming more of a social character, which is very interesting to watch. Was not the intention.
My characters always go different. Yeah. They do their own thing once I find them.
You get to spend 3 dots between contacts or resources. Okay. And then you also have to gain the enemy flaw. You get either the police or a victim who escaped your extortion and now wants revenge.
That sounds fun. That sounds like ways that you can try to get me killed.
Yes.
Which is called plot.
It is called plot.
It's called plot. Because we saw how well a 2-point rival went.
Yeah, well, that was also a 2-point rival that went unchecked for a long time.
That's true. Yeah.
Just because David said he didn't want to know who it was.
Yeah.
And it just kind of kept building and building and building. But, so you think an Extortionist?
Let's be a jerk.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to go with this character.
That sounds like fun. It really does. To see
How about I play Justin? That's what...
That's not
But
nice.
my spin on a Justin. No, this is very different from him.
Yeah. We're going to worry about Generation and Sire and all that stuff in a little bit. I actually want to see who this character is.
I would like to see who this character is. That'd be helpful.
As we describe them, as we flesh them out, we might be able to see if perhaps I have an NPC that is the Sire.
Gotcha.
At that
that
point.
Makes sense.
So let's go ahead and tackle your socials. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and finish out the Extortionist Predator type, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So the very first thing that you get is you get to add a specialty in either intimidation or larceny.
I think we have to go intimidation with like coercion.
Okay.
On this one because secret tunnel or something secret details. Elle has some larceny, and so did Dawn.
Okay, so you just want to step out of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to avoid repeating character tropes, let's...
Okay. So do you think that your character is going to be a dominate or a potence kind of character?
I keep trying to punch things, and I keep failing, so maybe I need to punch things.
Okay, so this will be your first character with potence.
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I'm really tempted to tell people what to do. I like to do that.
Dominate's fun, and there's actually a chance that you could get dominate also anyway.
Yeah.
So you could have potence and dominate through this whole thing.
I mean, I feel like dominate works. No, you can intimidate with your fists with your mind. Mind bullets.
That's telekinesis.
It is. I don't know. This is tough.
Okay, well we can change it.
Okay.
We're not stuck here. This is a little drop sheet.
Let's pretend that it's potence.
It's potence for now.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you get to spend 3 dots between contacts and resources. So that's up to you whether or not you want. Like, how good's your store? Is this a place that sells real?
We're fancy. We're more real fancy.
Okay.
Yeah. We got high-end stuff.
You want to do 2 dots in resources?
Sure. And then a point in contacts. Is it 3 points total between the two?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I know someone.
You know someone, which we'll have to flesh out who that person is and who they are for you. And then you also get you also have to take the 2-point flaw.
Good Lord. Enemy.
Of enemy.
Enemy. I got an enemy. Considering I kind of plan on being a jerk. Yeah. Ha! You can't make me an enemy. It's not there.
Where is enemy? Huh. Is it not under flaws? Is it under negative backgrounds, maybe?
It might be, because I think it's, yeah. There you go. Enemy. It's right there.
I see. Okay, so you get 2-point flaws of enemies, and that can either be a police officer.
Right.
Or the police in general, or it can be...
Yeah, I don't like that idea. I'm not real fond of that, because I'm trying to run a shop here.
Understood.
It would not work well. However, for somebody else that... Yeah. For somebody that I was... Probably I extort people for their occult items.
Okay.
And somebody managed to...
Now, a 2 is pretty strong.
Yes.
So this could either be a scorned customer, somebody who does not appreciate the extortion.
This is probably an upset Tremere, who I tried to get some crap from.
Ooh.
Because who else has the occult items?
I was going into the concept of possibly...
Harker hates me. You're right.
Oh, no, Harker's in Chicago.
I know.
You're not taking...
I know.
No.
And Harker, that's just not...
And Harker's a 3.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, you know, Harker's at least a 3. I was actually thinking maybe you extorted ownership of your store out of somebody else, like the ex-store owner.
Yeah, probably.
In which case you could have some, like, low-grade hedge mage witch after you.
I mean, that's an option as well.
But do you want to think about that, or do you want to try to fill that in?
I like the idea that I got the shop from this whole thing.
Okay.
That would explain the not really caring about the shop. It's more about the ownership of, and not the development or the, business personness of it.
I'm going to put old store owner down right now.
We'll figure out
if you want to change that later, you can. Now, your predator pools for this, because we can go ahead and just add that into hunting right now. Mm-hmm. Your strength or manipulation. Actually, until we figure out if we want to keep potence, I guess we'll just leave that blank for right now.
That probably makes sense.
Because that really is going to depend on how you want to do it. All right.
I don't know. Do you have... Roll a die.
You want to just...
Yeah, I'm going to roll a
50-50? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
What's what?
I don't know. I succeed and I get dominate.
Okay.
And if I fail, I get potence.
I kind of like the whole moral implication of if I fail, I'm taking the physical way. I like that.
Oh,
and you
potence
fail,
it
potence
is.
it is. Okay. So Let me just
This is, in fact, how I do character building.
I like that. That was fun.
If I can't make decisions, sometimes I go the random route.
I like that, and I think that'll help people who are trying to figure things out. Okay, so strength or manipulation plus intimidation. You feed through coercion, both subtle and painfully obvious. So you can use strength or manipulation plus intimidation. So...
But assuming that I'm using potence, that would be a strength-based.
Well, I mean, I think it's situational, but you're definitely going to have a...
Plus intimidation, right? Gotcha.
Just a reminder. Okay, so that's cool. That actually works really well. And with that kind of thing, that could be you go, I need to do a strength plus intimidation on this display.
Okay.
Not necessarily on the person. Okay. Or you could go, I'm going to get this guy to do something for me. I'm going to shake his hand. Strength plus intimidation to show him how much of a grip I have.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Like,
so
you're going to give me your blood now. That's what's going to happen. Just so you know.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
I really do think that is a very interesting way of going about things. This is the most evasive page. 136.
It hides.
It does. It does hide. Okay, so let's just figure out, what do you think your top attribute would be? Because you have one of the attributes up here that you get 4 points in.
That's wits.
Wits?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this a defense against me?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Also, I play clever characters, so it's not.
True.
You know.
True. What about your least?
That's a good question. Let's not have that be manipulation.
Okay.
This is a good question.
I'm starting to see your character as kind of a loose cannon if they don't.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, well, maybe they're not very dexterous. Like, maybe they're strong and like, because I'm.
You get a fumble shit.
Maybe they're not very charismatic for once. Like, maybe I kind of avoid charisma.
Where I was going, because you're a shop owner. Mm-hmm. Charisma is going to kind of be important.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking dexterity. Yeah. Maybe I don't like.
You're also a shop owner, and dexterity is kind of important if you've got a lot of glass bottles and fragile items. And
I put them in cases because I know myself.
That's true.
And I don't want anyone touching my things.
Okay.
They're there for display.
Okay.
For when I want them.
So you want dexterity to be your least?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
This will be amusing.
This will be incredibly amusing. Okay, so now you get 3 attributes.
At 3.
At 3. So what's going to be your next good qualities?
That's a great question. Probably not composure or resolve.
Probably not.
So...
I'm thinking strength and manipulation, because those are your feeding rolls, are probably a safe bet.
And I was thinking stamina, maybe.
Stamina?
Like, maybe stamina and strength is where I was at. You're right with manipulation, because obviously, if I'm coercing people, I'm probably manipulative.
Okay. And you're thinking stamina?
Yes.
Okay. And then the rest, we should have 4 left over.
I mean, I could, or the 3 could, like... I'm trying to think if stamina is the correct call, or if, like, charisma is. I'm probably not that intelligent. Like, I'm not, that's not my drop stat, but that's not...
Okay.
Like, I like to be clever, not book knowledge.
I get you. I do get you.
And I think that that's fitting even in a cult. Like, often we think of a cult, we think, like, intelligence.
Yeah, but I work intuitively.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's more true to my personal, like, to, you know, this human here.
Yeah.
That is playing a character. So, yeah.
So 2 in intelligence?
2 in intelligence. Now, do I really want that 3 in stamina? Because that puts 2 in everything else, right? Tell you what,
this is what you have at the moment.
Yeah.
That's your fully decked out attributes. Right now, your biggest weakness is going to be dexterity. That's very...
Well, and...
I would suggest...
My willpower's not real great here.
No, it's not. But I would suggest slow and concise movements in your store.
That's... I told you, I don't have a lot on display.
Okay.
There's not a lot.
The whole back room's full of nothing but styrofoam, encased objects, and there's a catalog on the front desk.
Pretty much.
What do you want?
I don't even know that I sell things, to be honest.
Okay. You just extorting people money to keep your shop open and scaring away customers?
Might be. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Yet. I haven't figured this out.
I'm really enjoying seeing what everybody's
out...
professions are.
Is it stamina or charisma? I don't see this as a very charismatic character.
Okay, well...
Like, they're more kind of just brute force, sort of.
How does that look to you?
I mean... I could have only one composure.
I was kind of picturing you originally only having one composure.
Let's do it!
One composure?
Oh my god, this is going to be awful.
Okay,
yes, let's do it.
We're going to go ahead and put that back, and we're going to take that back.
3 whole
That's going to be good for you, though, I think. You're going to be able to play your compulsion a lot more.
I do like to play
which is morbidity. You're going to have fun with that.
Okay.
You have to study and diagnose the dead.
Oh, okay. That
like, even, like, somebody walks into your store, and you can just be like, you're going to die badly. Like, and I'm going to figure out why. But you're not allowed to use your necromantic powers to do it.
That sounds fun.
It's kind of an interesting thing. All right, so we are on your skills. So would you like to be a jack of all trades, a professionalist, or sorry,
a specialist,
or a balanced character?
I don't think there's nothing balanced about this character.
Okay.
Pretty sure we've already decided this is a loose cannon.
Okay.
Who wants to punch things.
I like it.
But tries to do so in a clever way. Like, is aware of there's an awareness about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I love this because you are completely going in the opposite direction that I thought you were going to go.
Yeah,
but I'm also loving what I'm seeing out of this character.
Okay, so maybe they have specialized in coercing people.
Okay, that's cool.
Just build the whole character around this extortionist.
You could, because if you want to get somewhere, you have to focus. And that makes a lot of sense.
This might help me find the ambition also. True. Because if I'm so focused, why am I willing to wring everybody dry of things? And, like, what is it I'm trying to achieve?
Well, a lot of Hecata just want to be the last. Not the last, Hecata.
The last.
The last thing on Earth.
Yeah.
They want to watch the end poof as everything just goes away.
I can kind of see that being an interest that's maybe tied to something.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your top skill? You get a 4 in something, which is
I'm
like
just gonna go with
level.
We'll just be a specialist because then I have to choose less things.
Okay. You have a very defined dice pool at that point, but it's also a very strong dice pool.
I like the idea of awareness, not just to succeed at your Tony checks, but...
Dude, you'd have 8 dice to roll.
Which would be amazing, and I would love that. But also, hear me out. Here's my argument for why it's appropriate for this character.
Okay.
And not just a metagamey kind of BS thing. This character is very aware of... Maybe it's occult, actually. I want a skill set that allows me to identify occult items so that I can coerce them from their owners.
Interesting.
Maybe my ambition is to own all the things.
Okay. That's interesting. So you want to put... Or, out of curiosity, I know it doesn't really sound much like your character at the moment. If you're identifying items, I can see one of 2 things. Occult definitely works for that.
Yeah, I'm going to need occult skill somewhere in this mix.
Or it could be academics.
True.
If you're trying to figure out if something is real.
This character is going to need some aspects.
I was going to say that if you're going to take that high... I'm going to need
some aspects.
Yeah.
Anyway. Awareness gets at least a 3.
Okay.
But where does my one...
What's your one
number
above...
4?
You've written a dissertation on this.
See, I don't see them as... They're not intelligent, so I don't think they'd be approaching the occult from an academic perspective.
Okay.
Like, you can study the occult, but
you've seen enough stuff to know what's real.
Right.
Okay, so I'm thinking occult would probably be the best bet.
Which is probably how they got themselves embraced, to be honest.
Probably. I'm
because
actually...
they're a human.
As we're building this character sheet, I'm building your death scene.
Yeah, my death scene.
Okay, so then, after you've got your 4 in occult, you get 3 skills at 3.
I like awareness.
Awareness. Okay.
I think that's all from that column. Like, I can't see anything else in that column that would
I love how strength based you are.
I know, and then I'm like,
but all your skills are mental. I love it.
Let's have mental skills. No, we're gonna go over there and over to the physical area, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna need some brawl for the. So I don't. 3? Well, hold on. Is this a? Do I like to get my hands dirty?
Now keep in mind you have that intimidation.
Coercion. Yeah. Like, yeah, that has to get 3, so I have 1 3 skill left.
Yes. And that means if you're coercing people, you have 4 die. You have
an extra die.
You have yeah.
Yeah. Here's the real question: do I like to get my hands dirty? Do I use my fists? Do I have guns? Do I use knives or some? Do I like to carve people up? Like, where am I?
Ritual daggers.
That's what I was kind of thinking. Maybe I needed to go to a blade place with this character.
Blades work better on vampires anyway. I know we're talking about your human, but truthfully, blades work better than guns.
And if I'm a human who has an occult obsession, just going on based on my friends and family members that I've had throughout my life, speaking as a witchy, pagany sort, blades tend to be a thing that humans of that outlook
tend to
like. So yeah, I think we have to go melee. I don't know if it's a 3 though. That might be a 2. I mean, because we get some 2s, I think.
Okay, right? Well then what's your 3?
I don't know. We have to think. Okay. I'm not... Athletics is not a thing. I don't think I really make things. We are...
Do you have any streetwise? Have you ever used your occult for medicine issues?
No, I'm pretty sure I'm done with the mental
finance.
No.
Okay.
I'm actually leaning maybe toward persuasion because I'm a extortionist, so I'm probably also persuade people to do things.
You could persuade until it doesn't work, and then
I coerce. Yeah, like I step it up a notch. I also though am like. Remind me what insight actually does.
Insight helps you see if other people are lying and what their emotional state is.
Yeah, see, I think that would be useful
I think so too.
As well.
If somebody really doesn't want to get rid of something and you can tell it, that means it's probably valuable.
And that means I can get more.
And it's time to bend their arm the wrong way.
Yeah. So, but again, this is my last 3, so does the 3 go in insight or melee? Am I better at carving people up? Or telling what they want?
It's a good question.
It's a good question. Where are the dice?
I gotta say that I'm enjoying this method. Good.
This one's a red die kind of moment, I think. Because there's blood involved in this. Alright, so if I succeed... If I succeed, I can tell what people... Like, it's insight.
Yes, if it's fail, it's you're going back to the physical. Success! Insight. Okay.
Okay, so that says that there's a 2 in melee.
Okay. And it says here that you get 3 skills at 2.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give you your
2 in melee.
2 in melee.
And 2. We discussed something else. I think.
Persuasion.
Yeah. So that's
2 in persuasion.
Sorry, I've been...
Okay, how about this? It's persuasion or brawl. Roll.
I mean...
I'm kidding. I was kidding.
No, I'm thinking. Sorry, it's...
Subterfuge is lying.
Is where... Subterfuge. We need a 2 in subterfuge. Okay. Now we're on our last 2, so now it might be a choice and we might have to roll a die.
Okay, now are you successful at this occult store? Might be a good idea to put some points into finance.
I mean, I still have some 1s left.
Okay.
Got some 1s. Sure. I need some finance.
Yeah.
Like, I need some financial knowledge so I know who to steal from.
True. That's true. That's very true. That is very true. Okay, and you get 3 skills at 1.
So we're gonna need a point in persuasion, because I'm gonna try.
You're gonna try before
I break their legs.
Okay.
Or cut them to pieces or something. Probably need a 1 in larceny.
1 in larceny.
Because there's probably some times where it's just like they left that right there.
Yeah.
Let's just pocket that.
Okay.
And on that note, probably like a 1 in stealth, maybe.
A 1 in stealth?
Well,
I kind of see you grabbing something, maybe. And if you get caught, you're like, "What the fuck are you gonna do with that?"
Yeah.
You know, like
I don't need
like
stealth.
You try not to get caught, but if you do, you got potence.
And I'm pretty sure this is a character where there's the rumor of like, just don't leave them alone with your stuff. Like, watch this person.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I think there's going to be some rumors on your character sheet.
I probably have a 1 in brawl, to be honest. I probably need a point in
just
brawl.
In case you drop your weapon.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Just in case
I want to so now
sometimes
you don't have anything that automatically gives you a specialty, but you do get to choose 1 specialty for free that's yours. So your occult can be specialized to like appraisal.
That's good. I like that.
You want to do that?
Sure. That seems good. Seems legit. Melee, I could specialize in daggers or something.
Small knives, small blades.
Yeah, small blades.
Small blades. Yeah. I really can't stand the people who are just like, I specialize in kitchen knives. I'm like, okay. Can you tell me why? But I can understand the concept of small blades.
Well, yeah. No, that's more fun, too, because if you have a little bit of generality in the specialty...
Yeah, you can move around.
Like, obviously, it's a specialty. You can't be like, blades.
Yeah.
That's too broad. But if you're small blades, then you have that opportunity in the game where there's a knife lying on the counter from the kitchen knife block or something, and you can grab it and have some really interesting story play out that wouldn't necessarily have worked the same way if the character didn't have a specialty that would work with that item.
Now, like with blades in general, for a specialty, small blades is a good general speciality. But then when you get bigger stuff, it's 2-handed blades, 1-handed blades, 1-sided blades.
Yeah, like there's a lot of ways.
Pole arms, those kind of things. There's just so much a high branch out. The next thing that it says here, we did your predator type. We got that all taken care of. You get to choose 7 points in backgrounds and merits.
It's always hard for me. And 2 flaws, right?
And 2 points in flaws, yeah.
Let's do flaws
Get
first.
your flaws out of the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you want, I'm actually very...
just what's on the list? I like the drop down.
You like the drop down?
I mean, that's a easy place to start, I feel like.
Okay.
We're not archaic.
No, I don't think so. Do you have a dark secret?
I mean, maybe.
I
always want to have a dark secret, and you're always like, now you're going to get killed. That's what you sound like, too.
Is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, great. I'm your grandma.
That's 100% what you sound like.
All right, so let's take a look at what the details on Dark Secret actually are, because sometimes these things have like ridiculously detailed meanings.
Yeah. I do feel like if there's any character that I'm playing, I mean, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. It says you can also take Dark Secret, a milder version of infamy. The Dark Secret flaw provides 1 fewer points than the equivalent of infamy, as your black deeds remain unknown to all, but you and perhaps the one or 2 very motivated enemies. The 1-dot version of infamy also provides 1 point as a dark secret because it's easier to uncover than a truly life-threatening secret. So the 2-point flaw, as an example, says you're a cleaver or a serial breacher of the masquerade. You've been blood hunted out of another city, or have grievously offended this domain's ruler. That's what Dark Secret is, as an example.
Yeah.
Now, Dark Secret could go some pretty interesting things, and if we are talking Dark Secret, I will actually edit everything out of this video.
Oh, that would be helpful. Yeah.
If you decide to take that.
Sounds like Dawn, but planned. You can leave that in.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put Dark Secret down.
Okay.
I'm not gonna put any details on it.
Yeah.
Dark Secret will stay blank.
Yeah.
On there, but
I'm just saying you can unedit. Like, you can leave from where I said sounds like Dawn, but planned.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and take Dark Secret.
Seems legit.
And I believe, yeah, that's
it. That's
Sorry, not getting any details on that one. So there's your 2-point flaw. I will fill you in on some stuff.
Yeah, happens.
And I think I know who your sire is.
That figures.
So
merits
and backgrounds. You get 7 more points to throw into this.
Can you do the drop down for merits just so I can remember what kind of things?
For merits, we have.
Ooh, I've never played like a bond resistant. Like, I've never played. I always play with make me bondable.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
I've never played like unbondable or anything.
Now, bond resistance says that your bond rebels against control. Add 1 die to your dice pool to resist the blood bond per level you take of this merit, maximum of 3. So you could put 3
Am
points
I allowed to take unbondable for this character?
There's no reason why you wouldn't be able to.
Well, I know often, like, you don't want your whole game being unbondable, so you normally limit that.
Yeah.
So I would like to claim unbondable, because if I'm extorting...
Straight out unbondable, it says you cannot be bloodbound. If you're ever short of cash, you can probably sell your vitae to an alchemist.
I think I would know some alchemists.
I actually have one in mind. So
I think that would be a good choice for this character, because if I'm extorting blood from people, it's probably a good idea that I not be able to be bloodbound to them.
Cool.
Yep. There go all those points.
That's a 5-point merit. So you get 2 more points.
2 more points
that you can put in backgrounds or in merits.
I
think so too.
I think I exhausted my merits.
So allies, enemies, contacts, mentor. With the kind of thing that we have been talking about, you might want to consider a mentor. Fame would be nice since you own a store. You could have like a 1-point or a 2-point in fame. You do have 2 points to play with. Haven is always nice. Herd is always nice.
That's true. Haven is probably somewhere I should put points in.
Okay. Would you like your Haven to be a 1 or 2? Do you want details on how Haven works?
Yeah, I mean, I know we've gone over it time and time
again. Yeah,
but
Haven's that one thing. We actually ripped apart Haven one time and realized that how horribly written up this background actually is.
Well, especially because your book is the earlier version too, before it had any updates and so on and so forth.
So when you have
a base Haven,
when you have points in Haven, you have a choice between having points in Haven as your base Haven,
right,
and then extra points in it that add things to it. So you can take a base Haven up to 3, and then you can spend up to 3. Then you can spend up to 2 on like little things.
Yeah.
So basically, what it is Haven has a max of 5 points. And you get to choose if it is the base Haven that gets the majority of the points, or if the amenities get some of the points.
I would like to dispute whether Haunted is a flaw. Anyway, I kid. But
now, given that there is a warding merit for your Haven, where you've actually put occult wards up to keep people out, if you wanted to do that.
Small Haven, but more secure and private than the default. Examples: basement apartment, crypt, locked storeroom, in a warehouse.
You could live in your store.
Yeah, but then people know where I am.
Do they?
I don't know. Do they?
If you tell them.
I was thinking about, little basement in the store or some kind of something. That might be why.
I mean, hell, you could literally sleep behind. You could literally sleep behind a bookshelf that people can't move.
I could have a sarcophagus in the store.
You could. The cash register could sit on your coffin.
I'm thinking small and warding.
Small and warding.
Use the 2 points and have a small haven.
So we're going to do that to signify where your points went. Mm-hmm. And then down here, we're going to give you a haven rating of 1. That's your base. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to go down here.
And say 1.
Warding.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, what warding says is you have... your haven possesses some kind of magical ward barring supernatural forces. You may not be able to deactivate it, but it allows you to pass. Discuss the limits of your ward with your storyteller. Each dot of this merit adds 1 to the dice pool to resist supernatural scrying, as well as whatever other entry the storyteller allows it to prevent. The storyteller may require you to possess an occult skill of 3 or better, or blood sorcery to buy this merit.
Got it.
You've got it. And what if we, instead of saying that it's specifically warded, what if we made it haunted and give you a Wraith Retainer?
I would like
that guards the store. This would not be a Wraith Retainer that would do anything for you or go out, but if anybody tries anything in your store, they will be like, nah.
Yeah. Like they would act as a ward, per se,
they
would tell me that there were problems.
They probably like the kind of stuff that you're keeping in your store.
Yeah.
And they might even see it as their property. But they're not going to attack you
because
you're the one bringing the stuff
I keep bringing stuff to
you're a retainer to them, unwittingly.
I like this plan.
Okay. Let's go to Wraith and have that be done.
That makes it sound like it's warding against Wraith, but...
Okay. Bye. Is that better?
That's better.
By Wraith. Warded by Wraith.
For Wraith.
I really want to have a sign that says protected by Wraith outside of your store.
I might make that, honestly.
All right, so we went ahead and got all that stuff taken care of. Yep. What is it? 1. Here we go. Because I marked it. Okay, so you have your advantages picked out. Everything's done there. You're not a thin blood, so you don't have to worry about that. We need to work on your convictions. Now, right here...
Didn't you have a list of Hecata specific ideas for... No, we were looking at Lamia.
That was, because we were talking about possibly a Lamia.
I don't think that's where we're going anymore.
I mean, it could be.
It could still be, maybe.
It could still be. There's really no reason why you can't take that. Lamia come with potence in the old days.
Oh, that could also be why I extort for blood, though, because Lamia, if they give the kiss, infect... can cause whole ass plague.
That was a thing in the past, yeah.
That was in the... I thought that was in... Oh, never mind. Maybe I was reading... Never mind. Sorry. I didn't read the book yet.
No, that's cool. I'm glad that you're doing that. But
I was reading the
if you do decide to be Lamia, that does open you up to easy access to Bahari.
Right.
And if you do Bahari, we did talk about those special benefits that you can have if you want that.
I don't know if that fits this character.
Okay.
That's all.
Cool.
I don't know.
So what do you think your touchstones or your convictions should be?
Always obtain cool stuff.
Always obtain cool stuff?
Well, occult stuff specifically, but...
Okay.
Something around that idea. I don't think that's not the conviction, but, that's the idea. But that's not the wording.
Okay.
So help me find the wording.
Let's see.
Or never, avoid...
Occult items belong in your hands.
Right.
That's definite.
Yes. But I thought they needed to be always or never statements.
That is an always or never statement. I know that it's not using those exact words, but it's occult items belong in your hands. So you're going to do everything that you can to always collect occult items.
Oh, that's actually, there you go. Always collect occult items.
Okay, and who is your touchstone that tells you about that?
That's a good question. The previous store owner?
I don't know if your enemy should be
my touchstone.
Your touchstone. I mean, well, I guess it could be. That would stop you. That would prevent you from. That would prevent you from killing them.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a fun little bit of tension?
You'd get like a little boost of like, ha ha ha, every time they walk into the store to bitch.
Yeah.
You want to do old store owner? We're gonna have to come up with some details about this person.
I'm trying to think from the human perspective again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did I take this?
Do you get a like? Do you get a little boost of happiness every time this person walks into your store to complain about how you took it from them?
Possibly.
That's what a touchstone would be.
Yeah, like, so I'm thinking, okay, as a human, like, I don't know how old I was at my embrace yet, but I'm imagining that I'm, I don't know, young-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Like 20s or 30s or something. Enough time to become obsessed with occult things and study, and probably always go to the store that's local to me, and like the shop owner snubbed me forever. You're too young for this. You're too young. That you don't understand this. And I'm like, I know more than you, bro. You know, kind of thing.
Okay.
Until eventually I just took a store from him after Embrace.
Okay.
That's my story here. That's where I'm going with.
Okay.
That's how he would fit that.
Is he still your touchstone then?
Maybe. Yeah. Sure.
Okay. I'm going to put old store owner.
Yeah.
Okay. And we will have to come up with some thoughts about him. Do you want any more? You can have up to 3.
Oh.
You can stop at 1 if you want to, but you can have up to 3.
I don't really like people.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Do you have any employees that help you run the store? And one of them just seems very promising, and even though you treat them like crap, they're always trying. They always bring you nice stuff.
Probably there is somebody. If that's my backstory as a human, you know, a little 12-year-old or somebody who, like, I started at that age trying to go in the store and be like, oh, what's this do? And they were just like, kid.
Don't touch it. You're a child. You're going to get your cookie germs all over
Exactly. And so probably, somebody came to me at that point. They're like the only person I have a soft spot in my heart for because they see the value of these things. Yeah. And I'm probably being like, you know, someday. Okay. I'll let you in on the full secret. But, you know.
Okay. You might want to take one of your extra points and buy a retainer.
Yeah.
At some point.
That's what I'm thinking.
So, you want to come up with a name?
Not really. Albatross.
Albatross.
Yeah. There's a weight around my neck.
This person calls themselves Albatross.
They might. You're not allowed to judge.
How do you spell that?
Batross. That's my guess.
Whatever. It's a name. That's how they told me. It's a name.
That's how they told me.
Yeah, that's fine. Name. And what is your conviction on that one? Always keep learning. Never give up. Never surrender.
That's a sound.
Don't let rejection discourage you.
What do they do for me? Why are they here?
Probably a little gopher from what I can tell.
They run the shop because if I come in contact with anybody, that person's going to run screaming and not buy anything ever. Also, daytime.
Well,
I'm not there.
Eventually, that'll be a
thing. Might be Tross might be their last name.
I just see some.
It might be
Albert Tross.
No, Alba
Tross. I see this person wearing like one of those linen shirts that has no buttons, but looks like it should.
Yeah.
They wear a leather headband with beads woven.
No, they wear like a little leather hat. It's like a hat.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, Alexis.
Is that?
Yeah.
Do we need to change it to
avatar.
Alexis? Or
no, it's Albatross.
Okay.
Those are 2 words. I need you to put a space there. Tross is their last name.
Okay.
Sometimes I probably refer to them as like Miss
My albatross.
Tross.
My albatross is constantly hanging around my neck.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, so what's I love that. What is this conviction?
That's what I'm trying to figure out here.
Out in you?
Okay, so I appreciate that they have a thirst for knowledge. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason I kept them around. They reminded me a little bit of my younger self.
Okay.
And so I wanted to encourage that, not, be a jerk to them, because I don't want them to take my store.
True.
Obviously, that's what happens when somebody's a jerk to you. They will take your store.
Self-preservation?
I don't know. So...
That sounds like what this is.
What does albatross remind me of in my humanity? When I had that back in those days so long ago. I don't know. Okay. I don't know how to describe the feeling that I'm getting from what this albatross
well, is it always seek knowledge? Is it never give up?
See, that's too vague. I like the never give up vibe.
Okay.
But it's like never give up the quest for knowledge or something like that.
Never give up the quest for knowledge? That just tells me always.
Yeah.
Always seek knowledge.
Right.
Always seek the esoteric.
I don't know. Given what the secret talks we had, never give up is kind of a useful... Never give up on the quest.
That's true.
Probably met them in a D&D game, to be honest.
Okay.
All right, that's it. I don't like anyone else.
Okay.
I don't want to care about anybody else.
Cool.
I don't want to track anybody else.
We are going to go for the standard. We're going to do our standard. The words are right in front of me. The chronicle tenets that we've been using. We're going to stick with street, unless you have any reason to think otherwise. Sense. I see the second one being a very hard thing for your character to deal with.
Yeah, respecting others.
Respecting others.
I don't like that one.
Yeah, so you might take a stain.
Probably more often
than most, but that's a thing.
That's fine.
That's a thing. Okay, so we went ahead and we had all that taken care of. We're actually almost done. I'm very excited about that.
I need a nap.
Need a nap? Mm-hmm. Your humanity is going to be set to 7.
That's what they say. My willpower's like 3.
Let's just double check. Your health is your stamina plus 3, so you have 6 health.
For once.
Is that the highest health you've ever had?
I think so.
And your willpower is 3.
Yay!
I'm actually I'm excited to see you play a...
I know you are.
Yeah,
you're
I really am. Okay, so...
Means I get to be impatient.
We're on your disciplines now.
Yep.
So, a standard Hecata is supposed to have access to Oblivion, Fortitude, and Auspex. If you choose a family, which I have something in mind for you.
Okay. Uh-oh.
You would get their home disciplines if you choose, or a mix of the both. You just have a wider variety of disciplines you can choose from. And right now, I'm going to let you know that for what I have planned, you can choose Potence, Dominate, Auspex, Fortitude, and Oblivion. Those are yours.
That's a lot of choices.
So you get to choose 2 of those and put 2 dots in one and 1 dot in the other.
So I already have Potence. So...
You could have up to 3 Potence if you wanted to.
I could really punch in faces.
You could.
Auspex, Dominate, Fortitude, and Oblivion were the options. I feel like I need Oblivion and Auspex if I'm trying to find...
Okay. So we'll go ahead and...
Like, between the 2 of those, like, Oblivion's going to give me Finding Fetters, specifically.
Yes.
Which are occult items.
Very true. They're
And
very
Auspex
powerful occult items.
Yeah, and Auspex is also going to give me, at least Sense the Unseen will also work with that piece of the puzzle. So I think those.
Okay, so what's more important?
It'd be really epic to have Fortitude for once. That would be neat. And Dominate. But the dice told me I have to punch things.
True.
So, probably Oblivion.
Oblivion is 2?
I think so.
Okay, and
Let's
then
just go most with the unfamiliar stuff.
Auspex.
Yes.
Okay. So we've got that, all that's done.
We just need to pick which disciplines they are, correct?
Pretty much, yeah. So let's go ahead and get into that. Your Potence, we'll handle that first.
Well, I could tell you Auspex is Sense the Unseen.
Okay. So, Sense the Unseen. Sense the Unseen.
I don't know anything about Potence, so yeah, we're going to have to...
Okay. So your 2 options are Lethal Body, which is using this power, the user is capable of causing horrendous damage to mortals, tearing skin and breaking bones with their bare fingers. The user's unarmed attacks now do aggravated damage to humans, if desired. They also ignore ignore 1 level of armor per level of Potence used.
Or Soaring
Leap.
Which Soaring Leap's pretty cool.
So Crush or Grasshopper.
But this character, I don't know if they would be jumping around places. Like, I want to take Soaring Leap.
Yeah. Lethal Body seems to fit the character better.
But I think Lethal Body is the character.
Okay. So.
This is so uncomfortable for me, I want you to know.
I am so happy that you're standing out of your comfort zone, though.
So out of my comfort zone.
And then for Oblivion...
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that shizzles. Except that I would probably take... Level 1, I would take the Finding the Fetter one versus the post... Like, I don't know, turn things to ash or something.
Yeah.
I do kind of remember what the level 1 Oblivion options were.
Yeah, we covered it a little bit, but... Where is it? Here we go. The Binding Fetter.
Yeah.
The vampire closes their eyes, and upon opening them, their irises of their eyes display full reflection of their surroundings, and they can identify objects and locations important to ghosts. These fetters act as icons that bind the dead to their existence.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's very this character.
Okay. So it is...
Because the other option, right, is like something about reducing... Because you basically take a ghost path or a zombie path. Isn't that kind of where the discipline
it does seem to go that, yeah.
Well,
that is...
with just basic Oblivion, without any, like, family changes.
So
yeah, ashes to ashes, destroying evidence of feeding, blah, blah, blah. I don't plan to feed like that. I plan to make people give me their blood.
Yes.
So...
your next level that you can take, unfortunately, that's an amalgam. Fatal Precognition
with
is
Auspex
2. So you'd have to put some points into Auspex. Or you can get Where the Shroud Thins. And the vampire, with this affinity of Oblivion, can sense locations where the shroud is thinnest. So you can do easier necromancy work there.
That would seem fitting for... What is the Fatal Precognition, though? That's knowing how someone's going to die?
Many necromancers... Many necromancers. The Lady of Fate rules the underworld through her Stygian servants, and through communication with her certain death dealers, they learn this power. Fatal Precognition allows the vampire to scry any non-vampire and experience a vision of their impending death.
That sounds fun.
So you can see death. You also have access to regular Oblivion that Lasombra have, but you do not get ceremonies with it.
Okay.
And your character seems rather ceremonial.
Yeah. Are there any other disciplines along the way where it would have something along the lines of Where the Shroud Thins? Like, does any later discipline offer me knowledge of, like, thinner shroud places?
Not really, but it does help you to get to the point where you can... I think it's the 5th level... Oh, you know what? No, there's rituals. There's ceremonies that are specific to that.
Okay.
That help you to, like, the ceremony for where the shroud thins is awaken the homuncular servant. So you can create spies out of body parts and dead animals and stuff.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
All right, so you think where the shroud thins is probably best.
I think that, I'd really enjoy, I like characters who see things and have visions and whatnot, but...
Well, I think that this power actually kind of helps with that. And with some things that I have planned for your character now as we're building this, it's going to work.
Aspect.
Yeah. Okay. So, there it is. I need more working space. All right, so we went ahead and got your disciplines all set up. I think we just have to set up some details now.
Okay.
Any idea on your character's name yet?
Justin. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I almost started typing.
I know. I mean, my last name might be Tross.
Are you related to Alba?
I mean, not by blood, maybe. People can change names.
True.
I don't know. Names are always really hard for me.
Okay. Well, what do you think your vampire would want to be called?
Well, I don't want a name... For this character, I don't want a name that's specifically highly gendered.
Uh-huh.
So... There's that. They might go with... some sort of occult-ish sort of name.
Yeah.
Or take the name, take a historical occult person's name.
Mm-hmm.
Which, that would be okay. Like, anyway, that would be... What?
Nothing.
What?
Okay, well, we'll go back to name again. What about ambition? Do you have any better ambitions? You think the ambition of what we were talking about before would probably be a good one?
That's pretty good, but that's like top secret.
That's why we're just going to put complete the quest.
Yes. So Levi Crowley might be their name.
Levi. Okay, so is it Levi?
No, like Eliphas or I always I've never tried to pronounce his name. But yeah, there you go. That's what
Levi
there's an E in Crowley.
Is there?
Yeah, Ley.
Ley.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel blasphemous just suggesting
it's good.
So...
It's good. I've got an idea for your sire. I don't want to put that on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk to you personally
last name is Tross.
Tross? Levi Crowley Tross.
Yeah.
So it's like anybody who works for you has to take your last name?
Pretty much. Okay. Might be.
That's really egotistical.
Might have a cult.
It's really egotistical.
Notice the middle name.
Okay. Okay, so...
I don't think this character shies from their ego.
After that, we have your Hecata Bane. And the Hecata Bane is actually listed right here.
Now, am I generic Hecata at this point?
No.
Okay.
I have an idea for your sire. I want to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
But I have an idea. The Bane is the Hecata's kiss.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Well, a lot of Hecata don't worry about it. Like, they feed out of cups.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're an extortionist. You can be like, you want something? Bleed in this cup. And then your compulsion.
It's morbidity.
Yep. Is
This isn't boring. I just yawn a lot, for the record.
That's okay. This part is kind of boring, so it's fine. So the Hecata compulsion, just to give you a full basis on it, is that they are possessed by a particular curiosity paired with detachment for compassion and empathy, likely due to their frequent dealings with corpses and wraiths of those who died tragic deaths. Their blood urges them to study the individuals around them for signs of illness, frailty, or impending death, until they have either predicted the death without supernatural means or solved the cause of a local one. The vampire suffers a 3 dice penalty to all rolls until the scene ends.
That sounds dumb and I don't like it. But it's also kind of fascinating.
It's a weakness. You're not supposed to.
Okay, now right. Do I get some more points to spend?
You will, yeah, as soon as we put the details in this guy.
Okay.
Okay. So I am going to pull this out. And with how flimsy this thing is, I'm going to read these off to you if you don't mind.
Okay. Am I supposed to do something?
If you can type them in.
Okay, what am I typing?
What are you typing? All right, so your...
Oh, the blood surgery kind of stuff? Okay.
You're going to have a blood potency of 1 to start off with.
Okay.
Okay? Your blood surge is going to be add 2 die. So, yeah.
Do we? Okay.
Your mend amount...
I'm not close enough to this.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Your mend amount is 1 point of superficial damage. So when you have to heal, you can heal 1 point of superficial damage around.
Okay.
All right. Your power bonus.
Hold on. There we go.
Your power bonus is 0.
0.
That sucks. Your rouse reroll for disciplines is 2. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 is level 1.
Yeah.
So that's right level 1, just so we, yeah. You can put LVL or whatever.
Oh,
it's okay.
I broke it.
It's okay. You just rolled.
Broke it.
It's okay.
It's broken.
Your feeding penalty is nothing. You don't have one. Your bane severity is 2.
Well, this is more like NA, right? Like
yeah.
Okay. 2.
2. And your resonance
is probably like melancholy or something. I don't know. I'm not good at the resonances.
I'm actually surprised I didn't look this up before. That's all.
Yeah.
Like, because I had the page open when we were talking about your...
You're just a book.
I'm just a book?
You're just a book.
That's okay. People know what I look like, and if they don't know what I look like by now, they're just listening to me, so it doesn't matter if I'm visible. Predator type, 150.
No.
No nap.
Nap.
No nap.
Oh.
I know it's warm in here. It makes us tired. Because of this green screen. You know what? It actually does not say on this one. That is very interesting.
The Extortionist doesn't give a...
He doesn't say it.
Yes.
What kind of blood do you think a person who's being threatened would have?
Fear-based blood?
Yeah, pull that down. I don't remember which one that is.
Yeah, I think it would be like, what's her face? Fiona, like in LA by Night, the way that she fed people who feared her.
Yeah, she likes to bite and hurt people. And...
Yeah.
So, if we open up the...
Resonances.
226... Alright, so... caloric.
Okay.
Caloric blood would be the blood that you crave the most.
Okay.
All right.
Seems legit.
So there is all that. Got all those details down. How old's your character?
I said, like, I don't know, 20s or early 30s.
Early 30s?
Something like that. Enough time to obsessively, collect a bunch of occult knowledge.
Okay.
But not... I don't think that they were, like, older than I am now.
Okay. Well, tell you what. How long ago do you think your character has been around? Like, how long have they been embraced?
You know the sire.
I do.
You tell me.
I do. I would say...
When do you think they might have embraced someone?
I would say anytime... I would say anytime after 2012.
Okay. I figured this was a newer-ish embraced character.
I would say anytime after 2012.
Okay. So...
Like when all the crazy stuff starts happening in V5.
Yeah. So, I don't know, like... I, myself, would have been 30 in 2012.
Okay.
That's a familiar time.
Okay.
Because I know what life has been like during those times. I kind of lived it, so...
Okay, so we'll put...
True age would be like 40 and a
We'll put 2012.
Okay.
You want to do 40? And then 30. And you want birthday?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, 1982. That's what I was going based off of.
Okay, so you're just going through your own...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And how about an avatar?
That's a good question.
Who can you see Levi being played by in a movie?
Daniel Levy.
Daniel Levy.
Yeah.
Who's Daniel Levy?
David.
Oh! Really? What is it?
There's a C.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was avoiding saying the name of the sitcom because of, language reasons.
Okay, so you want to use Dan Levy, who's Eugene Levy's son.
Yeah. I can kind of see that.
I'd be cool with that. He's got some really interesting pictures.
Exactly. He's got lots of, interesting outfits to pull from. I think I can use that, outlook, especially since I'm watching that right now.
Yeah.
It'll help me to, possibly source personality, since I'm kind of going out of my...
I really like that. That's going to be interesting. Why are you... I can't make a space there, apparently.
Nope. You're not allowed to have a space.
Any distinguishing features? Aside from their personality.
I mean, I'm not... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have any, scars or anything.
Do you want to write out a history real quick? David literally gave me, 3 sentences.
Yeah.
And
no, I think I already laid out the history.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I can't type. My arms don't go that direction.
So, occult interests as a tween, constantly rebuffed by local pagany occult shop owner due to age. Studied and read all occult materials they could get their hands on. Aspired to own a shop someday. Annoyed after a decade of service refused by shop owner. Is it Levi? Levi slandered the owner's good name, eventually coercing the shop owner into signing over his shop to get the rumor mongering to end. That's dark and fun.
That's pretty freaking awful.
All right. Do you have any weapons that you carry on you?
I have several ritual daggers, in fact.
Okay.
I don't know what they all are or whatever. But
okay, well, that part is relatively easy if I could stop putting my books down. Okay, so how big of weapon, or like how big do you think your blades are? They would just be small, right?
Yeah, I mean like tops.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and put...
I would say between like 6 to 10 inch blades.
Okay.
Max.
So... How many do you think you carry on your person?
Easily at least 4.
At least 4? Jesus.
I think so. Pretty sure I have like leg things that like stiletto, you know.
Okay, these count as light piercing weapons.
Seems legit.
So they are going to be a +2 to your damage.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
I think that's it for weapons.
Any possessions you might carry?
I mean, I probably have a pentacle the size of a dinner plate.
Okay.
I mean, not necessarily, but I probably have a big ostentatious talisman amulet situation that I wear around my neck.
Okay. So.
And rings. I'm sure there are rings.
Gaudy jewelry.
Yes. Gaudy occult jewelry, thank you very much.
Better?
Yes.
Okay, anything else?
What was the phrase? Unsubstantiated confidence?
You can have that. I don't think it counts as a possession. Nobody's going to find it in your pockets.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably good.
I'm going to go ahead and put your ceremonies, which I'm probably butchering.
Yeah, that was ceremonies.
All right. So right now you have 2. So you have
Do you just get the ones that, like, do you not have to buy those separately?
You are supposed to buy them separately, but because this is supposed to be a quick thing, I want people to have access to stuff. So I am going to go ahead and allow you. You're supposed to get 1 at start, and then you have to purchase the rest. I'm just going to let you start with whatever you're starting with.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Yay here. For storyteller discretion.
Well, I've talked to everybody.
No, I mean that makes sense because we're not. This isn't a game that we're playing in the same like. This isn't an ongoing story arc that is going to last forever and ever and ever. So you don't want people to be at Facebook.
You are going to end up getting Summon Spirit.
Yes.
So you can call wraiths.
Yay!
And then your level, you have the hotline.
Yes.
And you're level 2. What did you take?
It would that thing
where the shroud thins. I think you get homuncular
servant. Yeah, that's what she said.
Let me just double check to make sure that nothing else can fall on that. Oh, where the shroud thins, you can also get compel spirit.
Ew.
Compel spirit. The ceremony allows a vampire to make a wraith do what they want them to do. You can dominate a wraith.
More fun than. That seems more up my alley.
Compel spirit?
Yeah.
Well, you can already summon them.
Yeah, might as well compel them.
Yeah. So.
That's what a good Giovanni would do, right? I meant good at being a Giovanni, not like good like on a lawful, neutral kind of chart.
I get you. All right, now I am going to be really nice and give you 3 XP.
Ooh!
For character creation.
Ooh!
But you also get 35. So you get 38 XP to spend on this character sheet right now.
How do I get 35?
For character creation.
Why?
Because it's in the book. It says that you get 35 XP.
Where?
Under the character creation rules.
Okay.
You want me to show you?
Sure.
Okay. It's been a little while since...
It's been a little while, apparently.
It's been a little while. Okay, so... If you open to the actual...
You know, it's always my job to, like, screw over what you're trying to give people.
Yeah, no, okay. 35 XP. Because I'm giving you from the Ancilli.
Oh,
we've always done that because we thought that the other ones were too little.
We did not, actually.
We did.
But no, because we actually did 15 for originally.
Yeah, and then we upped it to 35.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
And I don't think I gave L 35 points, but that's fine.
Mm.
I don't think I did. That's all. That's why I'm like, wait, what? Okay, so there's 38 to spend total.
So you get 38 to spend. I will read off prices if you would like.
That's boring.
You can buy more necromancy if you want.
Spending XP is boring.
If you want, you could just throw it all in necromancy.
It's kind of what I'm thinking, because that's easy.
Oh, also, you do get one other thing. I'm sorry, I completely forgot. Okay. I need you...
Like, I'm not trying to complain about the process, honestly. I'm just
I felt like...
No, I'm just...
I need you to go ahead and roll one of those die. And that's going to tell you how many free points you get in your family bloodline packet.
6.
6. Okay, cool. So you're going to get... Since there's 5 levels and there's 10 things, you're going to get 3 points. So you get 3 free points that go inside of your bloodline packet.
I'm overwhelmed now.
1 and 1. Or, sorry, 1 and 2 on the dice is going to equal 1.
No, I get that. I can understand. I have hit a wall with this process.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be difficult. My brain is trying to explode suddenly because this is all unfamiliar and it's coming at me quickly and there's numbers and I'm like, what?
I'll walk you through it.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to tell anybody what your family is.
My poor little neurodivergent brain is trying to explode.
This is for fun. You have 3 points that you can spend on this one.
Okay.
Okay? So you could get 1 and 2, or you could just buy 3. Or if you want to, you can take extra points and pump it in and buy as high as you want.
Okay. So this is the family that you're sticking me in. Okay. Because of who I'm being embraced by. Okay. Okay.
I'm not sharing that with you guys.
It's top secret. I don't know if you want to write family instead of 3 so that you know which lore sheet that is. Because are we still doing the...
Yeah, you still have access to 3 lore sheets if you want.
Yeah. That's all, like, more than I can...
Yeah, I don't want to overwhelm you too much.
...figure out right now.
And that would be your... That's your dice roll right there. That just paid for that.
Right.
Okay, so then you have your...
38 points to spend on things.
Yep. And like I said, you can just, if you want to, you can just pump them all into disciplines to get rid of them. You can...
Well, I've been embraced for 10 years at this point.
Yeah.
So...
With a pretty, probably intense sire.
Who would have just drilled necromancy into my brain?
Yeah, pretty much. Necromancy potence. He likes the fact that you have aspects.
Third level aspects is what?
Third level aspects?
Because, like, oh no, that's presence. Never mind. Second level premonition. Third level share the senses, I think, is an option.
You have sense the unseen right now. You could take heightened senses if you want. Premonition and scry the soul are next. Yeah. And then share senses. Yeah.
This character probably would scry the soul.
Scry the soul is fun. I like scry the soul personally.
Or is that the level? I don't know. There's a misprint in the book around that.
Yeah, there's two here that are level 2.
Those are both level 2.
And then they forgot the
heading for.
They forgot the heading for share the senses.
Okay. Because I was thinking I should probably, and in clan disciplines are 5 apiece.
That's why I have it marked.
So that gives me 7 total dots of. Like, if I were to just dump all of the points into disciplines, that would give me 7 dots worth of disciplines.
Yes. In-clan disciplines are 5 dots. Or 5
What's
points
level
per
2
dot.
potence?
Level 2 potence.
And Oblivion's in here?
Yes. Level 2 potence, you have a choice between prowess.
Oh, prowess is good.
Yeah. Vampire with potence gains
so that
far
would
greater
be 10.
strength.
And then that would leave me enough to get level 3 Oblivion at 15.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want Oblivion? The next level of Oblivion?
Well, that's why I might need Fortitude.
Why? What's up?
Feeding off wraiths requires Fortitude.
Oh, that would be cool.
Otherwise, Aura of Decay.
You take Passion Feast.
Because I don't really want to make things decay.
Yeah. Passion Feast is fun. It's
but I need Fortitude level 2, so I don't have enough XP for all that jazz.
True.
Because I'm assuming Fortitude would be an out-of-clan discipline at this point, right? For
No. It's still a Hecata discipline.
Then I would have enough to get me up to level 2. Oh, wait, no. That's only 15 by itself.
We're stretching the rules on discipline buying in this game just to make the game more interesting. Because it's going to be a short-lived chronicle.
Yeah, give me Fortitude.
Okay.
And I'll probably, like, my aim when I earn some XP on this character will be to buy Passion Feast.
Okay, so you're buying 2 levels of Fortitude?
Yes, which should be 5 and 10, which is 15.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead
and I don't know what... I'm probably resistant 15. To physical.
Alright, what levels of Fortitude then?
Probably just the ones that are anti-physical.
The mental Fortitude?
No, like, I mean the ones that, like, resilience and toughness.
Oh, okay, okay. Resilience and toughness?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Because I figured this person was probably physically, like, beat up a lot as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not exactly gender conforming and
they
all
had a harder,
kind of
younger life. Okay.
And I had already thought about that in going into why they would be okay with, like, slandering this dude. And, like, this dude possibly did actually just straight up abuse them. And then they decided to actually just tell the truth about the person. But...
Okay. So you have 13 points left.
Apparently.
Yeah. You can buy a level of blood potency for 10 points.
I could give myself a little bit more composure.
You could buy yourself a little bit more composure, which would cost you 5 points times the new level.
Blood potency is what?
It would be 10 points to buy one.
Wouldn't it be 20? Because I'd be going to blood potency.
New level times 10, yeah.
Composure would not be a bad idea to have, you know.
It would not.
We should probably buy some composure.
Okay.
Because 4 is still really
point composure. Low. So you have 3 points left. So you
Up
could
my willpower by 1, please.
Is willpower only 1 point?
No, down.
Oh, duh.
Because it's
the old system. It used to be a thing. So you
have 3 points.
Have 3 points. You can buy a new specialty, or you could buy an advantage and be done.
Yeah.
Like you could put a specialty on one of these things if you wanted to. If you want to specialize your occult.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Because we were talking about, like, appraising occult items.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be finance, though, or would that be occult?
I would say that'd be occult, personally. Because occult, to me, has always been just like a more esoteric version of academics.
I guess that's the thing.
So, appraisal?
I guess.
That's butchered, isn't it?
That is not how you spell that at all.
Appraisal?
I think there's an I after the A, and then S-A-L. But I don't know. When I'm not typing, I can't tell.
Well, I will do what I do. I will check.
Nope. A.
1?
2 P's.
2 A.
R. A.
Ah!
Yeah, I-S-A-L. We have it correct, I believe.
Okay, cool. I suck at spelling. Yes, that's correct.
Cool.
All right, so that is your character.
XP. Yay!
You have...
I didn't even die.
Not yet.
We're there.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
So your generation for the guy that I'm thinking of is going to be 12.
Okay.
You're a 12th gen. I'm going to go ahead and leave your sire blank.
Yeah, no one needs
here.
to know that.
In fact, I'm going to...
Top secret.
Yeah, I'm going to just leave that blank for right now. Because I don't want players messing with it either.
I know, we're going to print me out.
And we're going to print you out.
Print?
It just takes a second.
I know.
There, you're done. I'm sorry that was so agonizing for you. I know you don't like building characters.
It's hard.
But you're good at playing them.
No.
Yeah.
No. Sometimes.
I love Dawn.
I like drama, that's all.
Oh, you're going to have some drama with this one.
I know.
You're going to have a severe amount of drama with this one.
I can feel that.